right. Today in this module, this is our first class, international business. I believe that you guys are from MBA and also MIM. Okay, MBA or MIM. You should be able to see all this thing in your UROCs. All right. So welcome to international business. This is one of the courses that offered in Unirazak. And then as you can see here, okay, in the modules, it's all the same lah. You can find out more about the course, and then you can see the structure and so on. Okay, for this course, we are going to use Coursera as well. Okay, is there any first semester student? Because I can see some familiar names, so I know that they have classes before. Is there any first year student or first semester student not familiar with Coursera? So everyone is familiar with Coursera, right? Okay. So let me go through with the course first. All right. We have several topics. Okay, we have 10 topics, and then we are going to cover in 6 classes, means that 6 weeks lah. All right. And then I will try my best to make sure that my class here is synchronized with the Coursera. All right. If you take a look at here, we have topics such as globalization, culture, FDI, foreign direct investment is FDI, foreign exchange market, and then the organization of international business. And then we are going to take a look at the entry strategy, okay, the modes of international business. And then we are going to take a look at the global production outsourcing and logistics, marketing and R&D, and also global HRM. Okay. Lastly, we are going to learn about accounting and finance in international business. So basically, we are going to cover each and every aspect of business functions and make it more wider in international business context. Right? And then if you can see here, we have Coursera International Business. So I'm just going to brief you again on how to use this. Remember, if you all this link here, even though that you can see, let me try first. If you have any question, then you can ask in the chat here. Okay. So let me just view student view first. I wanted to know how it looks like on your end. Okay, so you can see here that upcoming assignments, module 1 until module 5, all right? Meaning in Coursera, you will see week 1 until week 5. And then you also can see here this one lah, okay? But your task is just to click the first one, right? Coursera International Business, you just have to click this one, and then you have to enroll in the course. So I show you an example. So let's say you click Coursera, and then you load Coursera in a new window, and then it will bring you to another tab. Okay. I think because then you will have this pop-up. So you just because I already enroll to see it. So you guys just click enroll, and then you can just go to course, right? Maybe I'll give you 2 minutes to do it. If you are in front of your laptop now, please do it. And then if you're done, just let me know here in the message here that you have enrolled to the course. For those who have enrolled before, you can also write it down here in your chat box. Okay, I give you 2 minutes to figure this out to make sure that everyone is doing it. Enroll, and then you can just go to course. You should be able to see it's locked. Okay, let me just February 11. Okay, try due date cannot be after log date. Hold on for a second, okay? Okay, try again. Now, I think you should be able to. Okay. So some of you can access it already. The rest of you, I give you like 2 minutes to complete it. Okay, so for others, just keep on enrolling it, and then you should be able to see. Okay. Um, for this course, all right, for this course, for your assessment, um, for um, for continuous assessment, it will contribute to 70% of your total course assessment. Another 30% would be for your final exam. Okay, we don't have final examination, we have final assessment where you are doing, I'm going to give you an assignment. It serves as your final assessment, okay, 30%. And the rest are from Sabah baru nak explain. Okay, I baru nak explain, okay. So 70% is from Coursera and also midterm. Okay, so 50% is from Coursera and then another 20% is for midterm. All right, so you have 70% from 70% of your continuous assessment, 50% from Coursera, and then another 20% for your midterm. For your midterm, normally I will open it in week 3 or 4. Okay, week 3 or 4 for your midterm examination. Midterm would be just essay, okay, 2 or 3 essays, and then that's all, right? Okay. Another thing is, so far okay, yeah. Another thing is our final class, actually week 6, falls on Chinese New Year, 11th of February. Okay, 11th of February, it will be Chinese New Year. So we have to do a replacement class, right? Replacement class. I would like you to propose. Okay, you can discuss among each other, and then please propose a date for me. It should be it's either on Saturday ataupun after working hours at night, right? But for Coursera, it's only until week 5, so should be okay lah. Week 6, I try to complete everything by week 5, okay? But just to replace the class, then you should tell me the date lah. You have to discuss among each others. Okay, so far, are you clear on the course structure? So there is no assessment, there is no term paper, no paper critique, no anything. You have to complete Coursera every week, okay, for 5 weeks in order for you to get 50% 50% of your course assessment, continuous assessment. All right. Is there any question?
No,
So
Prof. All good.
so far so good.
Yes.
Actually, I couldn't hear you. I'm not sure. Is it my laptop? It's very. Can you hear me properly? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it means that some of you I couldn't hear you clearly, but some of you I can hear very clear. Okay, so let's take a look at the course. Okay, so today I'm going to cover several topics. And then I will give you, I will let you go earlier for you to watch the more videos for your Coursera in order for you to answer the question. Oh, I forgot to, okay. So let's see for this, the first week. Okay, this one is I click the first week. So you have about 1 hour videos left, and then you can also read the material that is provided by this instructor from University of Colorado Boulder. And then after that, after you have completed everything here, okay, you can read, you can watch the videos, all right? And then just click on the assessment, okay, on the assessment. And then there are 9 questions based on the video and the reading up here, okay? And then you have to complete it. All right, please try your best, okay? Try your best to complete week 1 before week 2, all right? And complete week 2 before week 1 so that I can publish your mark earlier. What happened, I can see that I learned a lesson from last module. All right. I give like a leniency ataupun I give a bit leniency for them to complete it in the convenient time. But a lot of students they say that they couldn't see their marks and so on. So I wanted it to be on weekly basis where I can publish your mark on weekly basis. So I ask for your cooperation, or I should have about 55 students, 55, 56 students. So I ask each and every one of you, cooperate with each other, try to complete it before on weekly basis. Okay, and in fact that I will let you go earlier. Okay, for example, like you have class right today. So now I have about 40 participants. So ada yang missing ada yang tak datang, tak apa. Okay, so I have about 40 participants, and then I will let you go earlier for you to study, for you to complete your assessment. So you should use this time to complete the assessment so that I can publish your marks on time. Okay, tak adalah you kena tunggu about sampai week 3 and then only you can see your marks from week 1 and week 2. Okay, so try to help each other, try to cooperate with each other. Let's say if I don't publish mark, it's because your friends haven't finished it. Okay, don't worry about UROCs. All the marks here, it will be reflected to your UROCs automatically once you do it. Okay, but again, macam I cakap, I would like for everyone to do their things so that I can publish it on time. Okay, so here at the week 1, you are going to learn about a little bit brief history of trade, and then theories of international trade, business of international trade. That's all. Okay, so I try to cover lah. For example, we are going to learn about the methods of international business, form of international business as well. All right, and then the reasons to go international. So you guys can read this, all the course material that is provided. Okay, this one. Okay, and then after that, For week 2, you are going to learn about globalization, right? But today, today I'm going to talk about a little bit about globalization, okay? And then the rest you can learn from here in week 2. Week 3, it will cover about the political system, right? The political and legal system, the economic system in international business, and ethics, CSR, and corruption. Yeah, okay. And week 4, you should be learning about the international trade agreements. So we are going to learn about the free trade agreement here, and then the organization. We are going to learn about regional economic integration, and then about WTO and GATT, free trade zone, okay, the trade laws and regulation, and so on. Okay, and then the lastly is week 5, context of international business. So all you have to do is you have to answer the assessment. Okay, so let's take a look at, before that, we also have an entry survey here. So you can answer the entry survey before you go through with the courses. Okay, so the first topic, when we studied international business, definitely we are going to learn about globalization, because globalization, as we know that, okay, the learning outcomes for this topic is you should be able to explain the concept of globalization, and then the impact of changing demographic in global economy. And then also you are going to learn about political economy. I will cover this one in the next weeks, all right, according to the Coursera. So today I'm just going to teach a little bit about globalization, right? So it's a concept that explains the spread of information technology, goods, and also service across the world. Okay, one of the reasons that we have international business, because we have an expansion of business, right? World without borders, where companies they can make an international trade between countries. Okay, and all of this, they have the drivers. Okay, the drivers are the factors that lead to international business. We are going to take a look at that later. Okay, so globalization started a long time ago. Okay, but it was common after the Industrial Revolution. My screen actually got covered by. I know which one. Okay. So it was common after the Industrial Revolution, where there was a significant invention in the transport and communication sector, right? We have a lot of facilities, we have a lot of channel or medium that can help facilitate international trade ataupun globalization lah. And then infrastructure development in 21st century also boosted globalization by providing a faster flow of labor and information across the market. Okay, so not only we just involve information and also transportation, but also a flow of labor. So we can see that we do, for example, if we do FDI, or if we involve in international business, we use the country with cheap labors, and then we can see that the flow of labors coming in, coming out in country. Okay, so in international business, we have host country and we also have home country. So this is the this is the drivers of globalizations. Okay, we can see that all the readings are here. Okay, technological changes, and then containerization, economics of scale, different syntax system, growth strategies of multinational company, and also improve transport system, and lastly, the global trading blocks, which we are going to learn it later. Okay, the regional economic integration. So we are going to take a look at in several regions, we have the trading blocks ataupun economics block that facilitate all the transaction. For example, by giving, by providing rules and regulation, by removing the barriers of international trade, international business, by for example, like one of the huge trading block ataupun economic integration is EU. So they do apa tu, share the same currency for their trades and so on. Okay, that's that huge lah. We are going to take a look at it later. Okay, so one of the another drivers of globalization that's not here, for example, is for a company, right, to achieve definitely a higher rates of profits lah. Okay, one of the reason, okay, one why companies they involve in international business, because they want to increase ataupun to achieve higher rates of profit. So definitely the basic objective of any kind of business, right, is to earn profit as much as they can to maximize profit. And then if they go in general, okay, in general, if they expanded their business by going for foreign markets, so it can be a promise for a higher rate of profit in general. Okay. For example, let's say for Apple, okay, Apple, the market will be like so huge if they once they go or involve in international business. And might be, right, the profit will be much more compared to their domestic market, for example, okay, because involve a lot of countries, okay, expand to a lot of countries. And then maybe one of the reason as well is let's say to expand the production capacities. We can see that a lot of companies, they have factories outside their home country. Okay, they have factories because to expand the production capacities, or maybe the costs are cheaper. Okay, the costs are cheaper. And then after that is, for example, maybe one of the reason as well, maybe because in home market ataupun in home country, maybe there are limited home market. Okay, so let's see, when the size of the home market is limited, maybe it's due to smaller size of population, maybe, right, ataupun lower purchasing power of people, or it can be both. So maybe, all right, it is a good factors, it is a good drivers for companies to go international. Right, so other than that is another thing is, let's say, in terms of the competition, okay, maybe competition that we already have a lot of, the same businesses, okay, in the home market, so we would like to expand our business in other countries, okay. And then it can be, and other things where we are going to learn later is in terms of like political stability. That is another factors, okay. When you want to go to expand your company in any country, you take a look at their political stability as well, okay. Businesses, all of these political risks, right, political risks, they have to identify which company, because political stability definitely will impact the economic stability of the country, and it will become much easier for them to do business over there because have clear regulation, have clear rules and so on, okay. And then definitely their business will be more efficient ataupun effective lah, okay. So it doesn't mean that when I talk about political stability means that the same party ruling the country. No, okay. Let's say if not involved, for example, now, right? Not involved in a very, how to say, not inclined to war ataupun violence in their countries, and then they have a very strong regulations, they have a good regulations on governance and so on. Okay, so for example, international business can, so we mentioned several countries. So for example, like Germany, for example, Germany, Japan, so they quite stable lah, okay, political stable countries, all right. And then like for example, like Malaysia, maybe we are not because we do have changes of governments, and then with changes of government, shifting governments, a lot of policies are affected as well. And then we can see right, people ataupun citizens keep on, okay, what I can see now in my based from my circle of friends or my surroundings, people keep on talking about the economic stability, which is currency. For example, one of the things that they see is currency, okay, the fluctuation about it when it people talk about it, all right. So that is another and then in terms of price, right, the price turun naik and the fluctuation of the price. So for Malaysia, it's considered as a political unstable countries, okay, but in it is a very good place actually for Malaysia too, for other countries to do businesses here, because we have strong regulations on international business. Okay, and other thing is in terms of the, for example, like okay, we have covered growth strategy of multinational company, so improve transport system. Another thing is about technological changes, so maybe availability of technology, okay, and then in terms of governance as well. Sorry. Okay, so companies from the developing countries, okay, they are attracted by the developed countries lah, to do business, okay. And then however, for example, okay, for example, like recent year American companies, okay, ataupun companies from the USA, they do depend, for example, like Japan, they have a very high tech, okay, they are famous for innovation, they are very good in, you know, technology, they have a lot of expertise, so Japan punya technology is being used wider, okay. And other than that, so for the drivers of globalization, we can, like I've mentioned just now, we can put it in several I'm gonna, I wanted to open my Google Drive. Sorry, my signal is not so strong, I think. Okay. So the drivers of globalization, you will learn this more in the Coursera, okay, in week 2. So for example, like we have let's categorize it from several categories. So for example, we have market drivers, and then maybe from what I have explained just now, okay, it can be in terms of cost drivers, and then government. Okay, government. This one includes the rules and regulation just now, and maybe in terms of the competition lah, competitive drivers. Okay. So some of the market drivers. So this one is mainly about the it can be in terms of lifestyle as well. Lifestyle, okay, the lifestyle and taste. So new market has opened, right? A lot of let's say if in a country, okay, now what I can say, okay, example, and I believe that you guys can see as well, K-pop, for example, kan, Korean, the fashion, my example fashion. So the fashion industry now we can see that Korean influence on the lifestyle, on the fashion, and so on. Okay, so this is one of example of globalization as well, because of the lifestyle, of the taste, of the Korean wave, and so on. Okay, and before this, maybe for Asia countries, we take a look at, we learn a lot, ataupun we copied, we try to have the Westerns punya lifestyle, their fashion, we listen to the songs, entertainment, and so on. But now it can, I don't say that it's shifted, but we also have another influence, okay? Another market from the Korean. And when I was still in my study, I can see that some of my students, but some of my classmates, they are actually selling all those Korean stuff, okay, become a agent, dropship agent to sell those Korean stuff, because before this we cannot see that, right? We cannot see that kind of businesses, but because of the market here in the, let's say in Malaysia, the market for Korean fans has been expanded. Dah ramai yang suka, so it opened up a new market, right? So all those Korean merchandise and everything, so they can export it ataupun we can sell it in a different country. And then in terms of the, what we can say, let's say in terms of we have a lot of global brands as well, okay. We have a lot of brands, we have a lot of company, they wanted to expand their companies, and then they wanted to make sure that their brands is known globally, okay. And then we take a look at the in terms of the income, okay, like I've mentioned just now, the purchase power, okay. And then in terms of the cost driver, okay, so maybe in terms of the transportation, for example, right? Transportation cost, transportation. Okay. So in terms of an advancement in transportation, it can be in terms of the labor, okay, the labor cost. It can in terms of the technology as well, okay, technological. Maybe because more effective technology, okay, it can be more efficient, so the production can become more expanding ataupun more production because we have high technology, so the cost will be cheaper, right? And then in terms of government drivers, this is what we are going to learn later, more of it. Okay, for example, in terms of the reduction of barriers, okay, ataupun we call as tariff barriers when we are doing international business, okay, tariff and non-tariff barriers, okay. And then we also have, like I've mentioned just now, okay, the economic block, okay, the regional economic blocks, and then we take a look at the it can be the government, how to say, government efforts ataupun initiatives in open market. Okay, and lastly is the competitive drivers. So they want to increase, macam saya cakap tadi lah kan, increase production, increase ataupun to become atau makin kecil. Okay, increase production, and then what we want to become a global competitors lah, because you want to enter the new market, right? The foreign market. Okay, so those are the drivers. Okay, and then some of it is, for example, like the what influence international business as well. Okay, maybe we can see that in terms of the foreign market, it also has growth, for example. Okay, because of why? Because maybe more population over there, because of the lifestyle, because of the demand as well. Okay, maybe one of the things that can contribute to the growth of overseas market atau foreign market is the demand. Okay, the demand from the population lah, demand from the host market ataupun host countries. Okay, and definitely another thing that influence is the sales. Okay, the profit. Like I've mentioned just now, company what they want is to maximize their profit. Okay, and then maybe another thing that has influence on international business is in terms of let's say can be seen as diversification. Okay, again demand for the products, maybe for example like seasonal, okay, ataupun based on the climates, based on the anything, okay. Let's say nowadays we have a lot of more countries. In most countries, they show strong support for environmental friendly initiative, right? So we can see like a lot of demands for example, like maybe electric cars or more environmental friendly products, environmental friendly cars, and so on. Okay, more diversification in terms of, let's say if you are a car manufacturer, so you tend to manufacture new innovation because of the demand. Okay, you diverse your product, diverse your service to match the demand based on the, macam saya cakap tadi lah kan, there are a lot of factors. One of it is what we can see is the demand for environmental friendly product. Okay. And then another thing, what else? It can be in terms of standard. How about technology? How about technology? Meaning, what's your question again? Demand in technology, yes. Okay, demand in technology, that included as well. All right, like I've mentioned just now, because we take a look like Japan, right? Like I've mentioned, the technology, they have a very advanced technology. So a lot of product might, okay, a lot of companies, product might use or might have demands for the Japanese technology and so on. Okay, where is my... the changing demographic, right? The changing of global demographic around the world have a significant influence on trade and economic development. So it is essential to understand the trends for companies and policymakers to make informed decisions relating to the production and consumption of goods in global market. So major components under review, for example, like the increase in population, working and aging population, migration, and also life expectancy. So for example, increase of population, okay? In the future, however, there is a difference between population increase in developed and developing countries. In developing economies such as Germany, the population is expected to reduce slightly compared to other developed countries, okay, which will experience an increase in population. Maybe one of the reason is because we have an improved access to healthcare, all right, and then increasing rate of vaccination of preventive diseases. Right, people nowadays, they have access to have a lot of healthcare, so the life expectancy has been increased. Have you seen the life expectancy for in terms of gender? What is the life expectancy for female here in Malaysia? Siapa tahu? I think I saw it. I wanted to see the infographics. Let me, okay lah, this one. Yeah, I saw this one actually. Let me share with you this one for general knowledge. So now, they do like a 3 years difference. So you can see here, female non-citizen, it's 81, male is 80, for female Chinese is 80, female Malay is 4 years younger, 76. And then, yeah, okay, the rest lah. So you can see this one is female and male. And then next one is migration. So the movement from people from one location to another also affect the economic growth. Okay, since countries, they have a massive influx of immigrants will be forced to allocate more resources to the increasing population, all right? And on the other hand, the people moving out of a country may affect population structures. There will also be a significant reduction in total population, which may affect different sectors such as labor market. Life expectancy. So we have take a look at example just now. Maybe you can compare with other countries, right, to see maybe to see what are the factors that actually, let's say if it's lower, then what are the factors for you to analyze what kind of factors that impact to the lower life expectancy. And let's say if it's higher, then maybe we can take a look at the access to healthcare in terms of the lifestyle, in terms of what maybe there are some laws or regulation that actually affected their lifestyle, their consuming, okay, things that they consume. Working and aging population. So this is actually a worldwide problem, okay, where we have a lot of aging population. So when I said it's a problem, because aging population, we should have more population. Now is what we call it, the birth rate ataupun the fertility rate, right? It's much lower, has been declined for several years, for over the years. And then this increase in aging population, but we don't have in terms of apa yang I cakap tadi kan, in terms of the fertility rate is lower. So we have less young generation and compared to the aging population. So this one will in turn reduce the, for example, the scarcity of resources later for, let's say, for labor, okay, labor in future lah, okay, in future, and this aging population, they might leave the working, right? The working environment, and then we have scarcity of younger generation. And then maybe, right, and on the other, this will increase the retirement age limit. So the labor market will have many unemployed people. Because of why? Because but nowadays they have, if I'm not mistaken, they put apa tu, kalau let's say in government, it has been several years, like 58 is the wajib bersara, right? Okay, 58. And I think before this, you can extend until 60, if I'm not mistaken, right? So because why? Because they have to, let's say for older generation, one of the reason why they increase the retirement age limit, because of the, yeah, if they are not working, so they might need a lot of income to cater their health, okay, to get healthcare, and then to have a proper apa tu, health facilities ke, and then and so much. Okay, let's say if the government just lepas pandang, okay, tak nak, don't revise this, so maybe in terms of their welfare will be neglected. Okay, all right. So the drivers of demographic change, okay, there are three main factors contributing to changes in the structure and size of population, including, like I've mentioned just now, the fertility, mortality, and also migration of people from one country to another, right? Okay, what else in this? Okay, I'm going to cover this in a later week, right? Political economy and economic development. So next, let's take a look at in terms of the let's take a look at the entry strategy, the mode of entry ataupun types of international. Oh, before that, maybe we can see in terms of maybe we can take a look at the before we move forward, okay, before we go for a short break, let's take a look at stages of internalization. Okay. Asyik cakap international business kan. So let's take a look at the stages first. So we have 5 stages. Okay. So I just tulis look at sini. Okay, stage 1, for example, we have what we call as domestic companies. Okay. And then stage 2. So this is where we have like international company, international companies, and then stage 3, we have multinational companies ataupun yang kita sebut sebagai yang NMCs lah. Okay, and then we have, this one is in general, okay, in general lah. Then we have global companies. Stage 5, we have transnational company. Okay. So the first stage, the differences ataupun what makes them the characteristic of domestic companies. Okay, so this sorry, this domestic company, all right, they just, in terms of their operation, in terms of their company's objective, their mission, all right, just focus on the name lah, domestic market. Okay, so they are using ataupun they have an alliance using the domestic supplier, okay, only use the domestic financial institutions, and their customer are also from their own country lah, local market, okay, domestic customer. Right, so this company, they analyze all the what they do is they analyze the country's environment, okay, the country's environment and all their strategies. Macam saya cakap kan, dia punya operation objective are just for cater for local market, okay. And then for international company, so they started to select the strategy that one of the thing, the easiest way is to locating a branch in a foreign market in the host country, all right, and then they just extend the same domestic operation yang mana yang I terangkan sebentar tadi, okay, and then they have a branch in a foreign company lah, for foreign country, for example. And then so what they do, okay, maybe, okay, there are a certain like a customization according to the local market in the host country, okay, but normally for the operation it will be the same one, okay. And then during this, many of the companies, they will follow this strategy, international company, because maybe they don't have in terms of resources, and also they just they learn, okay, from the foreign market before they can become a global company. And then this one is less risk as well compared to becoming a global company. So let's say for multinational company, name is multi, right? So they have several companies, and then they formulate strategies according to different countries that they are in, okay. For different market, for example, okay, for example, you have your company in different region, okay, different region. In Asia market, maybe your the risk will be different, the customer demand is different, lifestyle and so on, all the political drivers are different. And then you have another company in, let's say, in other region, Africa, so it will be totally different, for example. So they formulate different strategies for a different market, right? And then it works, and then another thing is in this MNC, okay, MNC, they will work with like a domestic company in their home country, in their country, where they employ they contribute to the local market, they employ the local people and so on, okay. And then they operate with rules and regulation in the country that they are in lah. Okay, global company. So global company is the one which has either produced in a home country or in a single country, focus on marketing this product globally. Okay, focus on marketing this product domestically. So when it called as global, means that like produce product globally, okay. Transnational company, on the other hand, the last one, okay, stage 5, transnational company includes, okay, they produce and then they also invest, and then they operate all around the world, okay, across the world. They not only they produce in the countries, they also do marketing strategies over there, they do investment, and then they operate whatever that MNC is doing, so they do that as well. So this one is what we call as like a global enterprise, and then they involve in global market as well. Okay. And then in terms of the characteristic, okay, the vision, like kalau nak compared with domestic just now, so for transnational company, they are focused more on global market, global customers. So more their strategies, their visions is to cater for the global market lah. In terms of the geographical scope, okay, so they try to analyze global opportunities because they want it to be everywhere, right? So a lot of research and development will become all over the world. Okay, global opportunities, looking at the bigger picture, analyze each and every aspect of it. Okay, and then yeah, for example, we can say that brands. Okay, for example, companies ataupun brands. It can be, for example, like Mercedes, very luxurious car, right? It can be in America and Germany, but in Malaysia as well, it's considered as a very luxury car, very expensive. Okay, this reminds me of a recent thing. But I'm not sure. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I forgot what car type. Okay, ataupun car model. So this is how it goes. All right. This person updated saying that I thought that when I use this car, this car is very luxurious already in Malaysia and so on. But when he went to another country, they use the car as taxi ataupun like a Grab car, like an Uber over there. Okay, but I forgot the car model. So yeah, okay, maybe in the different countries, for example, like Mercedes, right? It really is a luxury car here. It's not that not everyone can afford it, but maybe in other country in Europe, okay, where the standards of living, the income is very high. So maybe this is like a household car for them, or maybe use it for apa orang panggil tu? Chauffeur lah kan, bukan apa tu, for ride sharing car and so on. Okay, so we continue. Next is we are going to take a look at okay, so for theories of international trade, I don't have it here. Okay, so but worry not. So we have reading here. Okay, there are notes for you to read here. I'm going to give you, like I've mentioned earlier, time to go off earlier so that you can read all this, okay, and then watch the video only for 10 minutes, okay, in total like 25 minutes. And then business of international trade. So here, maybe we are going to learn about, okay, today, for the last topic for today, we are going to take a look at reasons to go international. Just now I have covered. So let's take a look at the form of international business. International. Okay, so never mind. Right, so let's take a look at the entry strategy. Okay, and then we have several entry modes. Okay, some of it like exporting, and then licensing, franchising, joint venture, and then wholly owned subsidiaries, and another is FDI, okay, strategic alliance, acquisition, mergers and acquisition, and also this one lah, FDI, where you can find more notes over here. Okay. So after this topic, you should be able to learn about the first mover advantage in international business, and then discuss the two major entry in global business and how they can be applied in real life. Explain how wholly owned businesses can survive the global marketplace, and discuss the concept of greenfield ventures and strategic alliance. So the mode of entry international business can influence the operation of the company. Therefore, you are going to learn about market entry alternative. For example, one of it, like a very famous one, is import and export lah. Okay, and then other options including licensing, franchising, and joint venture. So due to the increasing competition and other global market factors, MNCs can adopt from other forms of businesses, which include greenfield investment or to form strategic alliance with other companies to achieve a common goal for a long run. Okay, so let's take a look at one by one. Okay, so the first thing is what we call as first mover advantage. Okay, first mover advantage. It means that you are the one who is a pioneer, who come up with the product or services. Okay. So the timing of entry in the global business play a very significant role in the success of the company. A business can choose to move into investing in international market at fast or slower rate. There are always benefit and challenge that firm may encounter. First mover advantage refer to the benefit that a company gains as a result of not hesitating to invest a business opportunity available in global market. So several advantage for the first mover. Okay, the first one is to prevent rivals and increasing customer demand. So when business move with a speed to invest in other market, it will attract a large customer base before competitors establish their business. Okay, so in this case, they will have a competitive advantage of the competitors that came into global market. For competitive advantage here, you are going to learn in Coursera later. Okay, there is a video that explains about competitive advantage and so on. And then building sales volume. Okay, so business can quickly increase the number of sales when there is no competition or little competition, right? By having a customer to purchase from your company lah, right? The experience curve and the cost advantage. So first mover will have enough time to establish its business by adjusting to the global market environment, and then they will gain more experience on how can they position themselves into the market. Lastly is to create a switching cost. So for first mover, they can able to retain more customers since they may not afford to spend more resources on adjusting ataupun changing the transaction with the new entrants. Okay, so let's take a look at the first entry modes, which is exporting. Okay, exporting. This process entails the marketing of selling of goods and services produced at local level to the international markets. The traditional view of exporting is that there is no need for foreign intervention ataupun investment. Okay, this is the simple one. Okay, this is a simple one with less risk to export. What you have to do is it only requires an established local infrastructure that can produce competitive product, and then after that you have importer and exporter. So the business involved in taking goods from the local producer to sell them in a foreign market. So you need to have a transportation provider. It is the means by which companies move goods from one country or market it to another. So common example used in this case includes air, water, and road transport channel, right? And then for governments, okay, the key players in exporting process ataupun exporting operation is government. What they do is they are the policymakers. They formulate laws. They formulate the regulation, maybe in terms of to regulate the exports operation movement across borders. The advantages is very less risk, okay, of losing the company at the local market due to high competition, and also less risk in a foreign market. Also helps in distributing the supplies to market that have high demand for the product, right? The disadvantage is it may require high startup costs, especially in direct export. On the other hand, is using intermediaries increases the value of the product. And then when we talk about other advantage, for example, it can achieve like experience in a foreign market to learn more about the economies of the host country, and then they can see, of course, in terms of the sales, okay, they can get global sales lah. They can have, they can maximize the profit. Okay, and then other than that, in terms of control, okay, in terms of control, it has full control in the home market, exporting, right? So they can maintain control over all the functions. You don't have, if you have a company investment in the outside, so you have to follow not only the exporting punya rules and regulation, but other things to build up a company over there. So there are a lot of rules and regulation that you have to follow, okay, and other example, for example, like the culture, the sensitivity over there, what can be done, what cannot be done, and then the demand. So you have to change to make, you might lose control if you do another mode of entry. And then the disadvantage, like I've mentioned just now, it can be in terms of high startup costs, in terms of transportation. Maybe it can become uneconomical because very high cost, right? And then maybe in terms of the barriers, in terms of the rules and regulations set up by the host countries, like a tariff barrier, in terms of the trade restriction and so on. So it can become very risky, right? Next is licensing. Okay, next is licensing. Okay, licensing. So there are another mode of entry, which is licensing, franchising, and joint ventures. So we take a look at the licensing first. Under the terms of licensing, two firms can make a contractual agreement where the company provides its goods, service, and technology to another organization, right? And then under this term, the parent company is called as licensor, while the receiving business is called as licensee. This a form of strategic alliance that allow the licensor to reduce business risks and in the global market. So the advantage here is to establish a passive income. The licensor, they will getting revenue from the business proceed of the licensee, and then provide easier entry because the licensee is already familiar with the dynamics of international target market. Creates employment opportunities in countries that are faced with high employment rate. And then in terms of disadvantages, disadvantages is companies investing in global market through licensing can experience different challenge. For example, like lack of control over their intellectual property. A very common problem in a country that does not enforce law against piracy and other forms of intellectual property left. So other advantages, for example, like they can be avoiding just now, okay, avoiding the risk of committing resources to country market that is not familiar. And then in terms of uncertainty in economic, or maybe in terms of the in terms of political instability, okay, so can reduce risk on that. And then other than that is, sorry. The disadvantage, okay, disadvantage is maybe, okay, there is a risk of providing in terms, let's say lah, okay, valuable technological know-how to foreign companies. And then maybe you can, maybe for companies who involve in licensing, they could be facing losing some degree of control. Okay, for example, like and then in terms of monitoring the license, and then to safeguard the company's proprietary know-how, okay, can be quite difficult, okay, in some cases. Okay, next is franchising. Okay, franchising. This one is a business arrangement that major companies allow other firms to carry out business operation by accessing their brands, product, trademarks, and everything. Okay, the franchisor will benefit from the already established structure in the global market. This can reduce the risk of business failure, since franchisor can only look for franchises that have potential to remain competitive in a global market. All right. Business operation will remain the same. You can use the logos, names, trademark, and so on, but it will be operated in a host country by an established business. Okay, they are the one who will establish a business. And then the franchisor, the job here is to provide the necessary support to the franchisee to make sure that they run the business. Okay, so the company, they don't need to spend more funds on marketing. It can be a centralized marketing as well. The company, the advantages of the franchising, they don't have to think about come out with a new invention and so on, but maybe they will have customization according to the local demand, okay, local market. However, for the franchisee, it requires high initial cost lah to start and run the business, just like open up your own company but using another company's, okay, foreign companies punya brand, logo, and so on. So the disadvantage, okay, it is high international cost, but the advantage is if it's a well-known brand, so you can save up in terms of the marketing. It is the demand are already there. All right, people know the brands, and it can be very quickly, people ataupun customer quickly aware of the brand. Contoh macam yang paling senang McDonald's lah, franchising strategy. And then in terms of the disadvantage, okay, maybe foreign franchisees, sometimes they do not always put a strong in terms of the consistency and standardization. So that is one of the disadvantage. So it's very hard to control the standardization. Let's say if you are providing a service, so maybe slightly different, right? Maybe because let's say lah, because, and then maybe in terms of the culture, right? They don't put the same value on another culture in the home country, okay, ataupun in other foreign market. Next is joint ventures. Okay, so joint ventures means that two or more firms come together to establish a new business. Companies can acquire best practice in the industry by learning how the business partners can maximize their profit. So for companies operating under joint ventures have better resources compared to their competitors that are working independently. Two companies combine effort and thus reduce the risk that could have otherwise been handled by a single business entity. And then sharing of costs and expenses enables the franchise to maximize its return. Next is a wholly owned subsidiaries. Okay, this is a separate legal entity existing independently and controlled by another country. All right. The firm subsidiary operates its activity under the guidance of the parent company, which also makes significant decision. And then, so businesses that invest in wholly owned subsidiary, they have one primary goal, which is diversification of business operation. So creating a separate entity or channel that runs the business. The advantages of wholly owned subsidiaries, all right? So basically that the parent company just now, they have a full ownership, and then they can make decision regarding to the subsidiaries operation and management. The advantage here is it's easy to manage since all the strategic planning and decision made by the parent company. And then the value of subsidiary company increase since now one of the primary units of the parent company, which has significant market and right public image. The subsidiary business will also benefit from the parent company reputation, and in the long run, it will increase the market share and become more competitive in the market. They can use existing network that the parent company have. Okay, for example, like they can create business referral with their business partners, which can be interested in goods and service of the subsidiaries business. Okay. However, the disadvantage of the wholly owned subsidiary business is that in this type of business may find challenge in creating relationship with different stakeholders who may not be aware of the existing of subsidiary business. And then this business also involve organization from different countries. The local law and regulation may affect some of the operation in the business. It's the potential company to invest in this business is not easy since parent company, they need more time to carry out different analysis. All the strategic planning is coming from the parent company, right? So might be difficult for potential company to invest in this type of business. Okay, some of the analysis included like market environment and the performance of the target business. So for example, this company is, let's say, a company in US. So they establish a subsidiaries in Malaysia, for example, and then owning the 100% of the Malaysian subsidiaries shares. Greenfield Ventures and Acquisition. So this one, this one is culture. Hold on for a second, because I saw it's also here. Same, right? Companies have different approach. Okay, some. So companies for Greenfield Ventures and Acquisition. So companies have different approach when it comes to investing in the global market. Greenfield Ventures, for example, is a form of FDI where firms establish business operation in various countries across the world. Okay, they do not build on already established enterprise. So this one is developing a new business from the beginning, means that you have a business but in a foreign company, a foreign country. So the benefit of greenfield investment, so very high level of control of the operation on the business, because you are starting the business fully from the beginning, from the scratch in host country. Okay, so companies and individual, this business can have control of the business activity in the global market. And then there is control over the business brand, staffing, right? You can use labor from the country and also use labor from the home country. It's up to the business. In this case, parent company can gain a very good reputation as a result of a quality goods and service. Okay, so that is benefit the parent company lah. Let's say if it's a have a good reputation in the host country, so it can benefit the parent company. Investor can bypass trade restriction in greenfield business. right? Global market have a favorable tariff that encourage foreign investment, can improve the living standards in the global market because it create a lot of employment opportunities for local people. And then also availing the essential goods at affordable price. However, definitely it has some drawbacks atau limitation. So it can be a high risk, okay, high risk venture. The chances of business failure are high because you are now involved in competition with other greenfield investment and also the local companies. Government regulation. So because you are starting a new business in a foreign country, so you have to adhere to the government regulation. So all the policies about FDI in a host country may change over time. Okay, and then may experience high fixed cost location in the global market. Okay, another thing, I think this is the last one. Okay, I think this is the second last. Business acquisition. Okay, so acquisition occurs when one business gain control over the operations on the other through purchase more than 50% of the stock. So this is a very common form of business strategy aims at increasing the investment of the acquirer. The reason for business acquisition is corporation may have different goals that motivate them to acquire different businesses. Common example includes foreign market entry strategy, where companies that establish business in global market, they may make use of the existing resources, brand name, and business reputation. Another reason, another example is growth strategy. So corporation, they try to take a look at the potential startup to incorporate their business, right, to increase revenue. To reduce competition, competitors will be eliminated through this method, and then it enables business to increase customer base, and then definitely placing themselves in the market share. Last one. There are a lot of entries, right? Okay. Last one is a strategic alliances. So this is a set of agreement made by two or more corporation to cooperate in the process, such as business development, sales, and other business objective. So this strategic alliance could include the one that we have done just now, is joint venture, where two independent companies, they come together to form a new firm. So in some cases, this business is called as a child company, since the product or two or more companies working together. And then we have equity strategic alliance. Strategic partnership where one company purchase a fraction of another company's equity. For example, the company may buy more than 40% of the total investment of another firm, which leads to the creation of a relationship between the two parties. Now, another one is non-equity strategic alliance. Okay, this occurs when two or more companies agree on pooling their resources together to achieve specific business goal. So why strategic alliance nowadays has been common, right? So the main factors previously, what we call in strategic alliance is the performance of the product. Okay, so when they do strategic alliance, it's aimed to acquire the material at lower cost, and then try to use the newest technology, recent technology, and then definitely to try to place themselves to have higher market share, and also to penetrate into a new market in international business, means that internationally, right? And then after that, what they want, okay, to reduce geographical barriers, means that in terms of strategic alliance, okay, so they want to improve current operation and then changing the competitive environment. They want to set a new standards of the market, which cannot be easily attained by the competitors. And then in terms of geographically, like I've mentioned just now, is for ease of entry and exit to the global market. All right. So it become very necessary to for a company to involve in competition through a constant flow of innovation, right? And this will give them a competitive advantage. Okay, so let me see first. Right. Today I have covered a little bit of globalization. Some of the notes here will be covered in later weeks. And then I have covered in terms of entry strategy and strategic alliance. And then later I'm going to teach about organization of international business, because some part of here is actually covered in unit 6 already. Okay. All right, so I will give you time. Go to your Coursera and try to watch all the video, read all the materials, and then learn about the theories of international business as well. The earliest theory of international business, and then answer all the questions for your assessment. Okay, I would like to remind you again, for this course, your continuous assessment, 50% is from Coursera. Try to complete it weekly basis. Maksudnya sebelum week 2 datang, you have to complete week 1. Okay, so it will become more easier for both of us. Okay, for all of us, I can publish the mark on time, and then you can learn accordingly to the week. All right, so that's all for today. If you have any problem, please text me. You can PM me, you can ask in the group.